Have you ever wondered what ancient humans actually did all day? Not the history book version, but the real version. Like, what was a normal Tuesday for a human 20,000 years ago? Because honestly, their entire life would look completely insane to us today. And somehow, your brain still carries pieces of that life inside it. Ancient humans didn't wake up peacefully. They woke up alert. No alarms, no coffee, no checking notifications first thing in the morning. The first thing they checked was whether something wanted to kill them. Every morning started with scanning, looking around, listening carefully, watching movement in the distance. Because for them, one strange sound in the bushes could actually matter. Psychologists call this hypervigilance, the brain constantly monitoring for danger. Research by Joseph Ledoux showed how the brain's fear systems react to threat even before conscious thinking fully begins. So unlike us, ancient humans didn't have the luxury of zoning out. Their brains stayed active almost all the time. And honestly, they probably would think modern humans are weird too. And then came the next daily task, finding food. Which sounds simple until you realize they had no refrigerator, no supermarket, no delivery apps. No, I'll just eat later. If they didn't find food, that was the problem. So most of the day involved walking, searching, tracking, observing animals, watching weather changes, remembering safe places, and trying not to waste energy. Because energy mattered a lot. Modern humans burn energy scrolling for 3 hours. Ancient humans conserved energy like their life depended on it, because it actually did. This is why psychologists believe humans develop strong energy-saving instincts, which is also why today, your brain sometimes treats basic tasks like they are dangerous missions. Your ancestors used energy to escape predators. You use energy deciding whether to answer an email. And animals were a huge part of their psychology too. Ancient humans constantly studied animal behavior, not just for hunting, but for survival information. Birds suddenly becoming quiet? Danger nearby. Animals running strangely? Something changed in the environment. Even today, humans still unconsciously react to animal behavior faster than we realize. Your brain still notices sudden silence, still reacts to movement quickly, still feels uncomfortable in complete darkness. Because ancient environments program those reactions deeply. And then there was social life, which honestly was psychologically exhausting. Ancient humans lived in small tribes, meaning there was almost no privacy. Imagine living your entire life surrounded by the same 40 people, every single day, with no do not disturb mode. And because survival depended on the tribe, social interaction became extremely important. One awkward interaction mattered. One argument mattered. One person disliking you mattered. Because rejection from the group was dangerous. Research by Eisenberger and Lieberman showed that social rejection activates some of the same brain regions involved in physical pain, which explains why even today, being ignored can ruin someone's entire mood. Your brain still treats social exclusion like survival danger. And honestly, ancient humans probably gossiped a lot too. Because gossip was information. Who can be trusted? Who caused problems? Who is reliable? Who is dangerous? Psychologists even believe gossip helped humans strengthen social bonds and group awareness, so technically, celebrity drama videos are just ancient tribal behavior with Wi-Fi. And hygiene back then? Yeah, very different world. There were no mirrors, no deodorant, no morning skincare routine. Ancient humans mostly cared about function, not aesthetics. And strangely, people today still psychologically judge health and cleanliness very quickly, because the brain evolved to detect signs of disease for survival reasons. Even attraction itself was shaped by survival psychology. Humans subconsciously looked for signs of health, strength, trustworthiness, emotional stability, not because they were romantic geniuses, but because survival and reproduction were connected. Which is funny, because thousands of years later, people still say, I can fix them. Human psychology really did not evolve as much as we think. As evening arrived, everything changed again. The world became quieter, movement slowed, energy was conserved. Because darkness meant uncertainty, and uncertainty meant risk. And before humans discovered fire, night was even more terrifying. Because imagine living in complete darkness, with predators around you, and no real way to see beyond a few meters. Before fire, humans survived nights mostly by staying close together. Groups became protection. More ears, more eyes, more awareness. They chose sleeping places carefully, higher ground, hidden areas, places difficult for predators to approach quietly. And psychologically, their brain became extremely sensitive to sound. A single branch snapping in darkness could instantly activate fear responses. Because during the day, ancient humans could at least see danger coming. At night, the brain lost visual control of the environment. And for the human brain, not seeing something is often more stressful than seeing it, because uncertainty creates prediction, and prediction creates fear. This is where the amygdala became extremely important. The amygdala is the part of the brain deeply involved in detecting threat and activating fear responses. Research by Joseph Ledoux showed how quickly the amygdala reacts to possible danger, sometimes before conscious thinking even happens. So at night, ancient humans became much more sensitive to small sounds, movement, silence changes, and unfamiliar patterns in darkness. And honestly, their imagination probably made things worse too. Because when humans cannot see clearly, the brain fills missing information with possible threats. Which is funny, because modern humans still do this today. A jacket hanging in a dark room suddenly looks like a person. A random sound at 2 a.m. suddenly feels terrifying. Your brain still reacts to darkness like an ancient human brain. Then, eventually, fire changed human psychology completely. Fire did not just give warmth, it gave visibility, safety, control. For the first time, humans could push back darkness itself. The brain feels calmer when it can clearly see the environment. So sitting near fire at night was not only physical survival, it was psychological relief too. Fire became comfort, protection, social bonding, storytelling, reflection. And this is probably one reason humans still feel strangely relaxed watching fire today. Something ancient in the brain recognizes it. And this is where ancient human life becomes really strange to modern people. They didn't sleep 8 hours straight. Instead, their sleep was divided into two separate phases. The first sleep lasted around 4 hours. Then they naturally woke up for around 1 to 2 hours. Not because something was wrong, not because of stress. Their bodies simply expected it. Research by historian Roger E. Kirch found evidence that segmented sleep was common before modern artificial lighting changed human routines. And during that awake period, they didn't panic about ruining their sleep schedule. They simply stayed awake quietly. Some sat near the fire, some talked softly, some repaired tools, some reflected on the day, and some probably just stared into darkness thinking about life. Which honestly sounds exactly like modern people at 2 a.m. Different environment, same brain. And psychologically, this night period was important, because during the day, ancient humans didn't have much time for deep reflection. They were too busy surviving. But at night, the brain finally processed emotions and experiences quietly. Modern neuroscience connects this to activity in the brain's default mode network, involved in reflection, memory, and internal thinking. So even overthinking at night has ancient roots. Then came the second sleep, another 4 hours. And this second sleep became deeper and more restorative. The brain processed memories, reset emotions, strengthened important information. So ancient humans weren't just sleeping, they were mentally organizing survival experiences in stages. And the weirdest part about all of this is that your brain still follows many of these ancient patterns today. That is why silence feels uncomfortable. Darkness changes your thoughts. Social rejection hurts deeply. Your mind overthinks at night. And uncertainty creates anxiety. Not because your brain is broken, but because your brain still thinks like an ancient human trying to survive the world. And honestly, if ancient humans saw modern people panic because someone left them on scene, they would probably be very confused. But psychologically, your brain treats it as danger anyway.
And maybe that's the strangest part about being human. No matter how modern the world becomes, some ancient part of the brain never really leaves. It still reacts to darkness, still fears rejection, still searches for safety, still overthinks in silence at 2 a.m. And once you start noticing these patterns, you begin to understand people differently, even yourself. Because human behavior starts making more sense when you realize the modern mind was built in an ancient world. There are still thousands of strange psychological patterns hidden inside everyday life. Most people never even notice them. But once you see them, you can't unsee them anymore. So if your brain enjoys exploring the hidden psychology behind human behavior, you already know where to be next time. Until then, try not to let your ancient brain overthink too much tonight.